So, Brian, how are we going with the Dealer Excellence Awards?
The awards have been great, Rob. The project...
So, Brian, how are we going with the Dealer Excellence Awards?
The awards have been great, Rob. The project's very much on track, on time, on budget at the moment. I suppose the only issue I've really got is we're trying to get a major celebrity to do the launch for us, and the problem is, to this point, we haven't got anyone.
Well, why don't we try someone from business like, say, Bob Ansett?
Bob Ansett, now, maybe he's not the right sort of guy. I mean, he's probably a little bit of old news, but geez, he was doing it tough a few years ago. Maybe he's not the right choice.
America's Cup, Alan Bond.
Bondy, you are kidding. He's still in the slammer, isn't he? How are we going to get him out for the night? What are we going to do?
OK, what about that guy who used to wear the duck-rimmed glasses, used to fly the helicopter and... Yeah,
no, I just don't think... No, maybe he wouldn't be appropriate. I really think that we need someone pretty high profile and someone who has got... I suppose they've climbed the mountain, they've done something great in their life, and we need something pretty high profile.
Well, let's give business a miss and let's go for your original idea of someone in sport.
Fantastic, let's do it.
What about golf? How about Greg Norman?
You're kidding? What about basketball? Luke Longley?
Mate, we can't use Luke Longley. He's still going to be partying with Dennis Rodman. What about rugby league? But who are we going to use?
What about Benny?
No, it's either King Wally or it's no one.
So, Rob, when's this Dealer Forum on?
10th of July. It's the night before the Bledisloe Cup Rugby Union.
Sensational. Well, why don't we use Australia's greatest ever wallaby, David Campese?
Hi, fellas.
Thanks, Campo.
I've got to follow my instincts, you know. What are you guys doing here?
Well, Telstra are launching a Dealer Excellence Awards, David. We've got all of our side of it sorted out. We know what we're going to measure the dealers on. We know what awards we're going to give them when they win. What we've got to do is launch it to them, and we're after a bit of a personality, someone with a profile, someone who achieved excellence in sport and is probably doing all right in business too. And as you heard, your name was excellence in what you achieved in sport.
I just need to know a bit more about it, so let's get started, eh?
All right,
great.
Let's go.
Excellent.
So, David, you're a successful rugby player,
yes,
and you're also successful in business. I want to talk to you about store presentation.
Yeah, Rob, I think presentation is obviously a small part, but it's a very important part of owning the business. And I suppose when you go back to sport, it's the same. And what we try and do here is when people walk in, they can actually see what they're looking for. And as I said, we've got the football boots down the back. We've tried to put the socks beside it, and then obviously the headgear and everything that's related to football. So it's easy when they come in, they know exactly where they want to go, they can actually see and touch the items. And I think presentation is, you know, when you walk in, you want to see people actually say, wow, that's what I'm looking for. And when you, I suppose, relate it back to football, I mean, you've actually, when you're going out to play, you've got to look the part, you've got to make sure you're nice and clean and that you're actually part of a unit. And I think, obviously, when you go back to business, I think that's very important as well.
Hey, Campo, what about staff? They're very important.
Obviously, Brian's staff is very important, and obviously, if you haven't got the staff, the operation doesn't work. What we try and find is people who are very friendly, who've got very good skills as well.
Yep.
So when they actually approach people, they're not shy. Yep. They can go up there and ask confidently what, you know, if they need any help. Yep. And I think if you look back to our sporting team, the World Cup in '91, we had some fantastic individuals, but they have to blend in as well as work as a team. Some of them great skills, some are very confident when other people lead the way. And I think when you got, I suppose, personnel and staff, they've got to have you got to have a mixture.
Yep.
They've got to blend in well. Yes. And I think once one person achieves something, obviously the other people say, well, if they can do it,
so can I.
All can follow, yeah.
Okay. Now, obviously with skills too, David, like each person has their own individual skill sets, and it's important to blend them amongst the team, as what you said, because everyone's probably at a different level too, aren't they?
Well, they are, but also it's a team is, you've got different links, and if one link doesn't pull their weight, obviously the whole thing falls apart.
Yep.
So some people are different, the way they approach people.
Yes.
But as long as they don't stand and just watch and just look at people, as long as they go out and they're confident in what they do, and I think that's very important.
That's great.
Campese. Can he get there? Oh! Did you see that?
David, I've got to say, that 100 caps trophy you got there, that's a pretty good indication of your performance in rugby. We're going to be judging the dealers on their performance as well.
Yeah, I think that it's great to have awards and trophies and all that, but I think the effort that's required to achieve it is something that only you can achieve. And I never really thought I'd play 101 tests for Australia, but in my mind, every time I went out to do something, I try and give my best performance. If it is in business, make sure the customers are happy and make sure when they go away, they say, well, that was great, I'll come back and do business anytime. I think that the scoreboard obviously is always there. It's always going to be there. But as long as you know what your goals are and you're trying to achieve those goals, at the end of the day, I think performance is very, very important.
Excellent.
But Dave,
excuse me.
to get the performance, you've really got to play by the rules because it is so important.
Yeah, it is. And I think that a lot of people don't realise that when you perform, that you're always judged on performance. It doesn't matter if you're on a football field or you're in business. And one thing that I've always tried in business and on sporting paddock is actually take a few chances, but obviously I try and play by the rules. Well, you have to. On the referee, obviously, on the football field, has got the whistle, and if you try and cheat, obviously, he blows it up. But in business, you've got to set the standard, and by playing by the rules and doing the standard all the time, you know for yourself that beneficial down the track, it's going to help you. And, you know, I don't think anyone's ever been dropped for trying things, and in business, I'm the same. You've got to try these things to see how good you can be.
OK, now shortcuts. So you're saying that shortcuts really don't work no matter even if you can see an opportunity at the end of the line?
It's no good taking shortcuts because down the track, obviously, you get found out. So the rules are there. It's very important that you play by the rules.
Well, now that we've covered off the 4 categories that the dealer's going to be judged by, David, what do you think?
Well, I think it's very important that everyone plays as a team, and I think there's a few people out there that probably think, well, we're not as big as some of the other companies or the competitors. And what they should realise is that everyone's together, and you know, you're probably looking at rugby as the same. Like I've played with John Eales, who's 6'7", to a little guy like Paul Crosby, who's 4 foot nothing. But at the end of the day, we're all there and we're all in it to win it.
And I suppose when you went across to the World Cup in '91, a lot of people didn't expect you to win that.
Yeah, that's right. I think that everyone, you know, probably anticipated us, you know, not as good as the other teams, but we proved that it doesn't matter what challenge it comes in front of us, that we are good enough, obviously, to carry through, and that's why we were the world's best in '91. Excellent.
Well, the Dealer Awards night is on the 10th of July. Are you ready to join us and present to the dealers?
Yeah, Rob, I think it's a great honour for me to be there on Team MobileNet, and I'm looking forward to it very much, and I hope to see everyone there.
Excellent. Thanks, David.
Sensational.
Well done.
Great. Thank you.
Thanks, Dave.